Hey, it's Dwayne with Enfurio, where you can follow along with my own personal trades and also learn my own power of one risk management strategy with an Enfurio membership. It's very, very, very powerful. Enfurio, light a fire, fan your flame. Now, if you haven't done so, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. Be sure you do that. And today we're going to talk about Zebec protocol. Zebec protocol. Is it getting ready to 2x to 3x? And we're going to do some analysis on it. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let's go ahead and type in Zebec protocol. Z is in zebra, B is in boy, C is in Charlie. ZBC. Zebec protocol. And let's take an initial look at it, and then we're going to look at the chart. Let's take a look here at their website. I want to take a look to see what exactly Zebec does if you haven't heard of them. They are streaming finance and real-time payroll. They are in the payroll streaming industry. And you can read a little bit about them on their website, Web3 banking and more. They just do some really interesting things. It's a really interesting project that, combines with Visa or MasterCard in being able to stream payroll in a Web 3.0 format. So an interesting project. If we go over to Twitter and we look how many followers they have over 200,000 followers, which is a pretty fair amount of followers, especially for a coin that is kind of a newer coin on the market. They've been out for about a year. That's a pretty fair amount of followers that they have. If we look at the volume, you will see that the current market cap is about 41 million and the daily volume is about 15 million. Now, here's what I personally like to see. What I personally like to see is the daily volume be within 10 times of the market cap, okay? So 10 times of the daily volume right now would be about $150 million market cap if we were 10 times the current daily volume. Now, I've been following this for quite a while, and this daily volume has consistently been anywhere from around 8 to 20 million over the past several months. And so it led me to go ahead and look at the chart on Zebec protocol to see exactly what my technical analysis is of it. So let's take a look at an all chart. When I looked at an all chart, something really popped out to me. If you notice, you see these three descending peaks, and they're almost just perfectly spaced descending peaks. That's what you like to see, these three descending, perfectly spaced peaks. And that immediately tells me that if we catch support on this third peak here before we hit the bottom, okay, here a little above the bottom, or we can even come down and hit right at the bottom. But if you notice, this hit just a little above the bottom on that third descending peak. What you usually see is you'll usually see it come at least to above the second peak. Okay, so you're going to usually see this come probably right in here, okay, above the second peak. So if we look at where that is right around 4 cents, 4.1 cents, right around 4 cents. Now, Enfurio members, they were able to get in the trade all the way down here. I actually called it in our paid Enfurio group. I actually called it in the Enfurio membership group when it was down here. And so they were able to get it at about 9/10 of a penny to 1 penny, right in there. We got in this at the end of January, and we've been in there since. Now, since then, we've already made about 80% on the trade as a whole. But I want to share this with you guys because I believe that there's still room to get in here. I believe you're gonna see this break out here very, very soon, possibly within the next few hours to the next few days, because it is pushing up there and it's starting to break this resistance right here. It's pushing up there. And once we see this push up there out of the gate, we should see this, make a pretty good move up. So how would I play this? How would I play this if I was coming into this trade right now? Well, if we look at this on a shorter time frame, if I was to balance my risk and I was coming into the trade right now, I would go ahead and take an entry point where it currently sits, because the potential for it to break out is definitely there. However, you don't want to throw caution to the wind, in my opinion, and put all your risk in at this buy point, and just out of greed. You don't want to do that. You want to as you know, I preach risk management strategy. So you want to prepare yourself for the downside as well. You want to protect yourself against the upside so you don't miss out, but also protect yourself against the downside, because of the fact that there is a possibility this could hit the top and it could pull back before it makes its run and breaks out of there. So where are the points that it could pull back to? If I was getting in this trade right now, I would probably come in with about a third of my risk right here. Okay, third of my risk right where it is now. I would come in with a third of my risk. If we look right here, we can see what I call the general consensus wave: a drive up, drive down, second drive up, and you would come lower. So right down in this neighborhood right here to be possibly my next buy. If it came down here to around 1.3 cents, I would buy another third. I would take another third of whatever my risk is, and I would buy more here. And if it came all the way back down here and hit this peak down here I'll tell you where that is. If it come all the way back down there and hit that peak, right around 0.96 cents, okay, right around 0.96 cents, 0.0096. If it came all the way back down here, then I would go ahead and use another third of my risk, and I would buy again down here. And so, now you would obviously have more in the position. You would own more Zebec and really set yourself up nicely. So I go ahead and set myself up now in case it does break out, because there is a good chance that this does not come back down here anytime soon. There's a good chance that this breaks out here and flies up significantly without coming back. But that possibility is there. So you always want to make sure that you manage your risk. Trading is about trading risk to generate profit, and not just throwing caution to the wind. Where do I see this going? I see this going probably up here to around 4.1 cents. There's going to be probably a little resistance right here around 2.8, 2.7 cents. So I think one of two things happen. When we come up here, I think we fly up and do kind of probably this number, come up to this 2.8, come back down a little bit, and then fly back up to this, 4 cents, 4.1 cent range. If on the off chance it does come down before breaking out, I think we could see this do one of two things. We see it come back to 1.3 cents and then see it break out, or we see it come back to 1.3 cents, maybe go up in this area some, a little bit here, and then come down to this 9.6 cents and maybe go up a little bit, come back, and then we see this breakout. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the chart. I do think, like I said, there is a good chance that we see this breakout right now, like within the next few hours to within the next few days. It's really starting to push up there. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.